Good day. Today's our lesson is Unit 8, Subunit 2, Pay Me More. Grammar material too much, too many, enough, varied, vocabulary, multi-word verbs, and how to talk about quantity. Let's start from reading exercise number 1a. Read the text and look at the cartoon. What's the problem? Let's read it and find out what's the problem. Violinists in a German orchestra are asking for more money because they play more notes than other musicians. 16 violinists who play in the Beethoven Orchestra in Bonn say that musicians who play other instruments like the flute or the horn have an easier job. The orchestra director, Laurentus Bonnet, said the violinist's request was stupid. You cannot compare the work of a musician with other jobs, he said. Now we know that the main problem is that foreigners in a German orchestra are asking for more money because they think that they play more notes than other musicians. So, let's continue. Let's continue from our vocabulary multi-word verbs. Um, let's read our speak out tip before doing our exercise. What's a multi-word verbs? A multi-word verbs is a verb plus preposition or adverb. For example, wake up. Multi-word verbs are very common in English. They often have a different meaning from the individual words in them. Always write down multi-word verbs in an example sentence. For example, I usually wake up at 7:30 a.m. Write down any multi-verbs that you know. Okay, let's start from right here, exercise number 2. Let's start from 2b, complete the multi-word verbs. Let's complete it. The first one is an example. For us, give up, at stop doing something. It's give up. Then agree to do something you don't want to do. It's give in, multi-word verb give in. Then the third one, return something to someone or give something to someone because they have done something for you. Give back. The fourth one, use or fill an amount of time or space. Take up. The fifth one, return something to its correct place. Take back. And the last one, become the boss or take control of something. Take over. Okay, now let's think of an example of our multi-word verbs. A habit or activity you gave up, a thing you must give back, an activity that takes up a lot of your time, a thing you took back to a shop or another place because you didn't want it, a time you gave in, a thing you would like to take over, for example, a company. Okay, now let's continue with our grammar material. Too much, too many, enough, very. Okay, now we have our grammar material. Word too, too much, too many, enough, not enough, very. Use it before. Too before adjectives, adverbs. Too much uncountable nouns. Too many countable nouns. Enough before nouns. Not enough before nouns, and very before adjectives and adverbs. For example, I'm too tired to study. There's too much water. There are too many people here. Is there enough petrol for the trip? There are not enough chairs. She's very nice. He's very ugly. To is always used to say that something is negative more than is necessary, right? For example, these trousers are too small. That's negative. Use very plus adjective with positive or negative ideas. She is very nice. That hat is very expensive. Much is used with uncountable nouns. Rice, water, money, news. They are called uncountable nouns because we cannot say one rice or two rice. Many is used with countable nouns. Days, people, doors, computers. These are called countable nouns because it's possible to say 1 day, 2 days, etc. It's possible to use adjective plus enough to say something it's okay. The room is big enough. Do we have enough chairs? In spoken grammar, we sometimes use enough as a noun. That's enough. We are talking too much, children. It's common to end a sentence with enough when the listener already knows what we are talking about. What about drinks? We have enough. Okay, let's continue with our practice exercise. Right here. Exercise number 4a. Match sentences 1 to 6 with sentence A to F below that have a similar meaning. First one, I always eat too much. I eat more than I should. Have a similar meaning. Too many people spend hours in the kitchen. More people than necessary spend time in the kitchen. The third one, the company should give enough money for me to buy a big car. They should give me the right amount to buy a big car. They have a similar meaning. I'm not paid enough. I should earn more. I'm too nice to say that. I'm so nice that I wouldn't say that. And the last one, I make everyone very happy. I make everyone really happy. They have a similar meaning. Okay, now our rules. Look at the content below and learn the correct alternative to complete the rule. I've got too much work to do. I've got too many jobs to do. We use too many with countable nouns. We use too much with uncountable nouns. It's our rule. Okay, now practice exercise number 5. Underline the correct alternative. I don't have enough time to do the things I enjoy. The second one, I drink too much coffee. The third one, I do some very difficult tasks in my work. The fourth one, I'm sometimes too busy to study English. The fifth one, I spent not very much, I spent too many hours online. And the last one, I sleep enough at the weekends. Okay, we did our practice exercise, and now exercise number 6a. Complete the sentences so they are true for you. I worry too much about what? One thing that's too difficult for me is. The third one thing that makes me happy is. I don't have enough time to do something. These days, too many people. You can complete these sentences by yourself so they are true for you. So thank you for your attention.